Blockbuster news in the world of pro wrestling as Shane McMahon met with AEW president and founder Tony Khan. And it's official, he is in talks with All Elite Wrestling. We're going to talk about it. We're going to cover it. We're also going to get the reactions from wrestlers like CM Punk and Ricky Starks to this story. A lot of people are talking, and so are we. We're going to tell you everything you need to know about Shane McMahon and All Elite Wrestling. Before we get into that, though, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. All right, so let's talk about the story of the week, year, whatever we want to call it. Shane McMahon and Tony Khan officially met. Here is the picture. Here is the evidence, if you will, of this encounter. You can see in the photo obtained by Wrestle Talk, this leaked photo, we have Shane McMahon and Tony Khan, who apparently met in an airport in Arlington on July 29th. I will read the report, the joint report from Wrestle Talk and Fightful.com in just a little bit. But there you can see Tony Khan looking confused, happy, excited. I don't know what that look is. While Shane McMahon looks on, and the two were obviously in some sort of discussion. And let's talk about the story itself. Here is the story from Wrestle Talk and Fightful.com. Wrestle Talk and Fightful have learned that AEW CEO Tony Khan had a private meeting with Shane McMahon this week. We can report that the meeting took place in an office at a private Arlington airport on Monday, July 29th, 2024, during the afternoon. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful has confirmed with sources that the meeting did take place, with Khan and McMahon discussing, quote, possibilities moving forward. Sean noted that Khan had been open to talking to McMahon for a while, but it's believed they'd never met or even spoken. Before the rumors about McMahon possibly joining AEW emerged recently, Khan said to have been very open to using Shane McMahon for several weeks now, and has made it clear that he was open to the idea of talking to McMahon when people have brought up the topic to him backstage. Fightful spoke to on Tuesday. Fightful spoke to those that Fightful spoke to on Tuesday. Sorry, fumbling over my words. Had not been briefed on a meeting publicly. Tony Khan commented in a recent interview with Maggie and Perloff that McMahon was, quote, welcome to stop by anytime, unquote, and he seems to be a really nice guy. Khan has also told Sports Illustrated that he has, quote, a lot of respect for McMahon as an executive and a professional wrestler, unquote, and that he's always welcome in AEW. Shane McMahon has been absent from WWE since WrestleMania 39 in April 2023, where he tore his quad just seconds into a match with The Miz. Fightful reported in June 2024 that he was under no kind of contract with WWE as of the story being released. WWE confirmed that to us in an official capacity. We'll keep you posted on any further updates on discussions between Shane McMahon and Tony Khan and AEW as they emerge. That is the full story. Link for that is in the description. But my, oh my, what the hell is happening in pro wrestling? We'll get to the reactions from the likes of CM Punk, Ricky Starks, and others in just a second. But first, we obviously have to talk about like the historic nature of this meeting, and also, quite frankly, what it could mean, and contextualize it in the terms that we can see, right? Because like no one just a few months ago would have thought that you would see Shane McMahon potentially in AEW. Yet there was a meeting that happened, and we can all clearly see it. It has been, confirmed by Fightful, which is one of, if not the most accredited and credible wrestling news source there is. backed up by Wrestle Talk and their sources as well. So two of the biggest media entities in wrestling kind of coming together to put this story together and release like all of this info, release all of this stuff. It is insane because when you think Shane McMahon, you automatically think WWE. You think Vince McMahon. You think Stephanie McMahon. You don't think AEW. Yet Tony Khan could do the impossible and bring out a McMahon on AEW TV. Regardless of what you think about Shane, regardless of what you think about how it could work out or whatever, this would be a massive, massive moment in wrestling. And I'm not going to say that, oh my God, it's going to be like a all-time great moment or whatever. The moment has to be what it's going to be. But this is going to be something that gets people talking in a massive way. And, obviously, we don't know whether or not a deal has been agreed to. We don't know whether or not that has even been discussed. But you would think that Tony Khan and Shane McMahon, two of, honestly, the most savvy business minds there are in all of professional wrestling, you would think that these two would have at least talked about what this could look like and what Shane coming into AEW would look like. And I don't believe that they would bring in Shane as a backstage mind. I think there could be certain scenarios where he could be helpful in that capacity. I think Shane comes in as a talent because at the end of the day, you can ride the fact that he's Shane McMahon appearing on AEW TV for a good amount of time. You could pop a few good ratings with that, if we're being honest. And it could be like one of the dominoes that starts up that momentum. Like as we've seen with AEW, their TV ratings getting better and better over the last month or so, ever since the formula for wrestling changed for them. And this would be like a nice shot in the arm to help with that and help continue that trend. I just think that this is insane. The fact that we're even talking about it, the fact that, it said like, he'd be open to having him there. Like, this is one of those things where, the way this all kind of broke down was kind of crazy because, it was kind of just thrown out there that, like, hey, Shane McMahon, like, it was rumored to, like, have sent feelers out to All Elite Wrestling, and then Tony kind of comes out and says, I've never talked to him, never thought about this. And then over time, there was that chance encounter between Mercedes Moné and Shane McMahon at a New York airport, I believe right after Forbidden Door, and that got people talking. And then there was obviously, another another few rumors and weeks of speculation, and now this not even chance encounter. This was planned. Like, look, billionaires are billionaires. Like, these are two billionaire sons. I'm sure they could get a a room in any airport that they wanted to if they really tried to. But like the fact that like they just happened to be in the same place at the same time and it worked out this way, I think it's a little bit more than just a coincidence. This would be insane. If AEW actually pulls this off, it will be a massive moment. And Shane coming out and saying the name on the contract does say McMahon. After Tony Khan at when he bought Ring of Honor, he said the name of the contract doesn't say Shane. There's no Shane. Man, there's a lot that could happen here. There's a lot that's possible. I'm optimistic. Look, call me a stooge, call me whatever you want. This would get people very excited. It's getting me very excited. Because the prospect of seeing Shane McMahon is not something that I thought would ever be possible outside of WWE. And, it said that TKO doesn't really want anything with the McMahons to do with TV at this point. So, I don't know. Interesting stuff happening in the world of professional wrestling and interesting reactions to this. Here is a tweet from Wrestle Votes, a very reputable source from WWE side, saying, quote, asked a longtime WWE employee friendly with Shane for thoughts on the Tony Khan picture. The response, quote, Shane's as smart as they come. Taking a preliminary meeting doesn't surprise anyone here. That is, again, according to WrestleVotes, again, really reputable account when it comes to WWE news and very well sourced in the world of WWE, saying that this doesn't really surprise people that Shane would have a meeting. I think, like, we have a window here, right? There's a window here to capitalize on this because one thing's for sure. People are interested in the idea of Shane going to AEW. The rumor, the speculation, the fact that it almost like captivates the entire day's discussion whenever it's brought up, whenever there's a new wrinkle or a new rumor or a new development. The fact that that happens shows you that Shane coming in would, I'm not going to say move the needle and send him over 1 million viewers a week, but like I said before, it would be an amazing shot in the arm that you could argue AEW needs. If we're heading into All In, AEW right now has sold 44,000 tickets. You want to get over 50,000 for Wembley Stadium? Advertising and delivering Shane McMahon would go a long way towards that, in addition to all of the rest of the card that we've seen. So, again, it's no surprise to even me that this would happen, given the buzz we've heard, because, look, these are two very, savvy businessmen who understand that, that window is there. And, look, Shane is, 54 years old at this point. He's not getting any younger. I don't think that, Shane's going to be the guy who's, having a match at every pay-per-view, but I think he could be a very compelling personality on TV. How he does that and how they do that is for a different time for us to talk about, but I think this could be very compelling. Another person, and I know this is the part where a lot of people are waiting for, another person who's very compelling in the way that he talks and the way he especially comments about AEW is CM Punk. So CM Punk did an interview with Sports Illustrated, and he was point blank asked about this picture between Tony Khan and Shane McMahon. Here is what he had to say.
Everyone's losing their minds and going crazy because there's a photo of Shane McMahon meeting with Tony Khan, and you have a history with both AEW and WWE. I'll just say, Punk, what are your thoughts?
Pass.
Would it shock you if he ended up in that company?
No, I don't think so.
Well, that was CM Punk, very short in his comments there about this situation. But shout out to Sports Illustrated and Jimmy over there for asking him that question, and that interview. It was a really good interview. Recommend you guys go check it out. You shouldn't be surprised there. CM Punk doesn't really want to talk about AEW, although he did mention in that interview, and we'll talk about this in a separate video, how he felt about that whole brawl out video situation. Again, we'll talk about it in a separate video, but interesting to hear that he he wouldn't be surprised if this were to happen. And look, it is the world we live in professional wrestling. Anything can happen at any time, and that is the most exciting part about all of this. It is the most exciting part about the fact that you could have Shane McMahon, a legacy, a WWE legacy, someone whose name is forever associated with WWE, with professional wrestling, and he could be coming to AEW. I think, again, there's a window to do this and make it worthwhile, and I think we're in it. We are in that window. If they want to do it and if they want to capitalize on it on the biggest scale possible, I think the sooner you do it, the better it is. We never know what's going to happen, but obviously there's a lot of different ways that this could go. Last backstage reaction that we did get was Ricky Stark, who has not been seen on AEW TV for a while. Ricky Starks, who apparently is healthy, and, the only reason that he's not appearing on AEW TV is because of the whole situation with his creative. He has since deleted a tweet that basically said Shane's music hit yet, and during Dynamite, obviously got people talking there. And look, I can't hate on Ricky for doing that. It is what it is. Yeah. And we also now, oh, here we go. This is breaking news as this video is literally being recorded. We have Bully Ray weighing in on this situation. Is he weighing in? I guess this literally just happened. I am finding this out right as we are going on the air recording this. So I guess, yeah, I'll just read out the alleged quote here. Again, I've not listened to this yet, but we're here. We're gonna talk about it. So apparently, Bully Ray did say he spoke to Shane McMahon earlier and has said that this was not a chance encounter. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Man, this is interesting. Actually, I don't know. I need to listen to this myself. I'm so sorry, but he did say where there's smoke, there's fire. It seems, and it was not happenstance. So I will do some digging on this, and I will come back with more, guys. I promise. But I think that's it for tonight. I'm still flabbergasted about all of the information that is coming out of this whole Shane McMahon story, this whole Shane McMahon situation. It is just insane. Let me know what you guys think about this. Pro wrestling is awesome. Pro wrestling is amazing. Professional wrestling is where anything can happen, including potentially Shane to All Elite Wrestling. Let me know in the comments section what you think about this story, this situation, and what would you like to see Shane do in AEW. Personally, I would love to see him involved on the Elite side in this power struggle between the Elite and AEW. We'll see if that's how all of this comes to fruition, but let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Also, be sure, if you haven't already done so, to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released.